Hello and welcome to the Girl That Went For It podcast. I'm your host, Johanna Scholz, also known as Johanna Liana on Instagram, and author of Believe in Life, How to Dance in the Rain. If you want to live your dream life and become the best version of yourself, then this podcast is for you. I hope that I can inspire and encourage you to never give up and to always believe in yourself. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, Johanna_Liana, for daily content. And now enjoy this episode. Welcome back to this new episode. I'm so excited about today's topic. In this episode, I'm going to talk about self-sabotage and how it stops our progress in achieving our goals. And I'm going to share some tips on how you can stop self-sabotaging your life, yourself. You probably don't even know that you're doing it. So yeah, just listen to this episode and you'll figure out if you're currently doing it. The key topics of today's episodes are understanding self-sabotage, real life stories. I'm going to share 2 stories from 2 girls that joined my Aligned Life Mastery last year. And I'm also sharing some strategies for overcoming self-sabotage. So listen up. If you feel like this episode resonates with some of your friends, feel free to share. That would mean a lot to me. I put so much work, time, effort in creating this content, this free content for you. So if you share it with your bestie who's interested in self-growth, self-development, who is maybe even self-sabotaging herself, share this episode or any other episode that you resonate with and you know that your friends could benefit from it. Let's start with understanding self-sabotage. Our beliefs and behaviors can undermine our efforts and keep us stuck. Sometimes we're not even sure and not even aware of the beliefs that actually hold us where we are, that actually stop us from achieving our goals. Self-sabotage is very fascinating because it affects so many aspects of our lives without us even realizing it. So let's dive into this episode and talk about how we can change that. So self-sabotage, simply put, is an act of getting in our own way. Like, you probably had this before. You literally are standing in your own way. Like, you're literally stopping yourself and you can feel that something inside you wants to do it, but there's this other voice in your head that's just stopping you. That's the lazy person that wants to stay in bed, for example. Or you know that you should really get this done, but you're self-sabotaging yourself and you're not getting it done. You know that you have this really big goal and you know you have to do A, B, C to get there, but you finding excuses not to do it. That's you self-sabotaging yourself. These patterns and these behaviors affect our whole life. It affects our well-being. It affects our relationships. It affects how we grow, how we see the world, how we see opportunities for ourselves. It affects so much. And if you stop self-sabotaging yourself, you'd be surprised where you end up end of 2024. One of those self-sabotaging patterns is procrastination and self-doubt and the fear of failure. I have a whole episode about procrastination, so check that one out. I'll make sure I put it in the show notes, but procrastination is like the number one self-sabotaging thing that you can do. And I'm 100% sure that each and every one of us, me included, have been procrastinating in the past, have procrastinated something in the past. I mean, let's be honest, we all did. And we probably will still do this, but it is so important that you become aware of every time you procrastinate something that you're procrastinating. And I know that deep down, you know you're procrastinating something. I know deep down that when you have your to-do list and you're not ticking off the boxes and you know there's this one thing you really need to do. I actually have one thing on my list, and that's my KiwiSaver, to set up my KiwiSaver. Honestly, I've been procrastinating that. I'm honest with you, and I'm going to do this today. I promise myself, and I know I want to show up for myself and be like, I'm not a procrastinator, so I'm going to do this today. So if you're listening to this and you want to ask me if I've done it, feel free to reach out to me. I will do it today after I've recorded this episode. Something that can also self-sabotage ourselves is our limiting beliefs and our negative beliefs, such as I'm not good enough or I will never succeed. These prophecies that we say about ourselves lead us to behave in ways that reflect our thoughts. So if we say, oh, I'm not good enough, I will never succeed, guess what? You will never succeed, and you are self-sabotaging yourself, your life, your possibilities, your opportunities. If you tell yourself, I will never succeed, you simply will never succeed, and you are limiting yourself. It is so important to pay attention to our thoughts and what we think and what we believe is possible for us. It can also really affect our mental health. If we are constantly doubting ourselves, engaging in negative self-talk, or repeatedly failing to achieve our goals, which is because we have negative self-talk and think we can't achieve something, that can just lead to frustration, it can lead to anxiety, it can even lead to depression. And that is our own fault in some kind of way, because it's the way we talk to ourselves. It's the way how we believe in ourselves and if we think we can achieve something or not. So you are responsible for stopping self-sabotaging yourself. So how can we change that? The first thing is becoming aware of this, becoming aware that you are self-sabotaging yourself. I feel like I'm saying self-sabotaging so often in this episode that it will get burned into your brain. So the first thing is becoming aware and more mindful of your thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors, because then we can begin to identify the ways in which we sabotage ourselves. One really good tool is journaling. I say this in every episode. And if you don't know it yet, but I have a journal, or I created a journal that you can get in the link below, where you can set goals, set intentions for the day, and be grateful and check in with yourself. So that's a great journal to start your journey to self-growth. But anyway, journaling is so powerful. That's why I created a journal as well, like I just said. So it is just powerful. And it can help you to figure out what it is you're actually thinking. And then once you wrote it down, you can understand, or you will understand, that that's just basically nonsense. Like if you tell, like you would never, so if you write down, I will never succeed, you will never tell this to your friend, right? So see your journal as your best friend and think, maybe that will help. Think like your best friend is reading what you're writing down. And you would never tell your best friend you will never succeed, right? You will tell your best friend, you can do it, I believe in you, and don't give up, right? So use your journal like something that you would tell your best friend. We actually had in school, funny, little story time here, and maybe you had this too. I think when I was like in grade 8 or something, we would have those journals that you would share with your bestie, or I think I had like 3 PayPal friends. Is that how you call it? PayPal pen? PayPal? Gosh, you know what I mean. So we had this journal and we would write each other letters into this journal, and then we would pass it to our friend, and then she would write something back. And we would just write in like what we've done during the day and how much we love each other. And it's such a cool thing, actually. So see your journal as if you would talk to your best friend and just tell her what you've done and how you progress and how much you love her. And then you read your journal, obviously, again. So it's, you should be your best friend. You should talk to yourself like you would to your best friend. So journaling is like such a good way to stop self-sabotaging yourself. Whenever you hear a thought or feel a doubt coming up in yourself, grab your journal and write down why you're doubting yourself and rewrite your thoughts. Know that things are possible for you. It is all about the beliefs you tell yourself, that's like what's possible for you and what isn't possible for you. I want to share 2 stories out of my group coaching Aligned Life Mastery. Of course, I always ask my students if I can share these things. By the way, this course is now also available for you to watch. I did a group coaching back in August and in October, and you can now watch it as an online course. I will add the link below, and why you do certain things or why you believe certain things. And you will also know what's holding you back from achieving what you so desperately want. You will also understand why some things just feel so hard to achieve and how you can change that. I've also decided to offer something really special to anyone that has worked with me before, either in my group coaching, in my one-on-one calls, or has signed up for one of my courses like the one now, Aligned Life Mastery, or in the past, the Mind and Vision online course. For the next 3 months, I'm going to offer one live call each month for anyone who has worked with me before in those group coachings, one-on-ones, or the online course. And in those live calls, we can connect, we can share experiences. I'm going to talk about different things that I do daily that help me to become my best version of myself. So this is free for anyone who has been part of any of my coachings before. So if you sign up for the Aligned Life Mastery course now, you can join those live calls that are once a month, and I can't wait to connect with you. Let's get to the 2 stories that I wanted to share with you, and maybe you can see yourself in those stories. And I think that's the beautiful thing in my group coachings. A lot of us go through the same things, and we can learn so much from each other, and we can grow together and share our thoughts. And sometimes you need someone else to say or to share their limiting beliefs, then that you realize, oh my gosh, that's so bullshit. And then you tell that person, I don't think you should think that. And then you actually realize that you thought the same about yourself. So sometimes it's just so good to share these thoughts with others. And that's why I love doing what I do. I love creating group coachings so I can work with you, I can connect with you. And that's why I decided to do these live calls for anyone who has been part of my group coachings, who has been part of my one-on-ones or of my courses, because the courses are not one-on-one like group coachings or like one-on-ones. But that's why I decided to do these live calls, because I want to connect with you and I want you to share your experience. I want you to share your thoughts and connect with others and just work through this together, because together we can lift each other up and we can be each other's hype girls and boys. So let's do this together. Okay, so the first story I want to share is from one of the students that wanted to quit her job, and it's what she wrote. I don't want to disappoint my parents if I quit my job at the bank. I know how proud they are, and I know how highly they talk about me in front of their friends. My first thought was, I'm so proud of you for sharing this with me. And that's what the Aligned Life Mastery is about, creating the reality you want for yourself. And obviously she figured out that she wanted to quit her job. She worked in a bank for a few years now. She actually sent it through like 6 years now, but it wasn't her. It wasn't what she saw for herself in the future. And first of all, I'm so proud of her for realizing that and for speaking it out loud. And what I said then is, it's your life. You decide how your life looks like, and you make decisions based on what you think is possible for you. And I asked her if she talked to her parents about this, and she wrote back that she hasn't talked to her parents about this, that she thinks that they will be disappointed. So that's basically what we figured out. She is thinking that they will be disappointed if she quits her job, because they're so proud of her for what she does. So she is assuming that they're going to be disappointed. So I said to her, tell your parents about your plan and what you want to do. You never know. They might be super supportive and proud of you for figuring out what you want in your life. And then she was like, oh, but I think my parents don't understand. So this is basically her creating the reality and her thinking my parents won't understand. She's making it so much bigger in her head, and she is focusing on that. So that's how your mind works. It's just so powerful. But you think your parents won't understand. So the way that you're going to start the conversation and talk about your goals is already kind of you already thinking, oh, they won't understand. So you are going into this conversation in a totally different and negative way, and negative feelings and emotions. And you will probably pick up that they don't understand. But if you switch how you start the conversation, if you think, I'm sure my parents will understand, and my parents are so supportive, they supported me in so many decisions that I made. Like, if you switch your mindset, you will start the conversation with your parents in such a different way. And also here I want to say again, we are a different generation nowadays than our parents are. used to grow up in. How do I say this? Like, we have so many opportunities nowadays. It's crazy. Like, we can achieve so much more in such a short time than our parents. You have to remember that they live a totally different life than we are living now. We live in such a fast world, and we have so many more opportunities and things that we can do compared to our parents. Always keep that in mind and try to be mindful about that. And I think it's just so important that we follow our intuition and what sets our soul on fire and what we want to do. We are living our own lives. You don't want to look back in 30, 40 years and regret the things you didn't do, right? You don't want to look back and I wish I quit that job and I wish I tried this other job. I feel like that would have really been my thing. You don't want to look back in 20, 30, 40 years and think that, right? So do it. Find ways and opportunities and know that it's possible for you. It's possible for you to live a life in alignment with yourself. It's possible for you to do the things you love. You just have to believe in yourself, and you should stop self-sabotaging what you think and what's possible for you. Okay, story number 2 is, I recently told my friends about my goals and I loved how supportive they are, except of one friend. She said that her sister tried it and failed, and that is quite risky. I'm a makeup artist and I want to start an online makeup school, by the way. First of all, I'm so proud that she shared her goals with her friends and had a conversation about what she wanted to do, and how cool is it that she has so many supportive friends. And she said except one that was telling her it's too risky and her sister tried it. I told her that one friend probably just meant it well and wants to protect her. But I also reminded her, and that's something we talked about in the Aligned Life Mastery as well, is that 60 to 80% of our limiting beliefs are not even our limiting beliefs. It is something that we got told. Someone told us that something wasn't possible. Here, for example, her friend told her that her sister tried and failed. So she is kind of taking this limiting belief of her friend's sister on that it's not possible. And it is just so sad that so often we have those limiting beliefs, but they're not even our limiting beliefs. They're not even from our experience. They're simply because someone told us it's not possible and we started to believe that. Don't let other limiting beliefs hold you back. You don't know that person, or maybe you do, you know her sister, but you don't know her beliefs. You don't know how much work she put in. You don't know how much, maybe you know how much work she put in, but also you don't know her definition of a lot of work. You also don't know her intentions behind this business. Maybe she figured out that this wasn't actually her business to do. Maybe she wasn't feeling that passionate about it anymore, and that's why it didn't work out. Maybe she had some limiting beliefs she had to work through, and that's why it didn't work out. So never ever let anyone else's failures and limiting beliefs hold you back from trying. It's your life, it's your unique path, everyone's different, and you have no idea how much potential you have. You are responsible for the opportunities and possibilities you create for yourself and the things you decide to see for yourself and your future. So let me share a few strategies for overcoming self-sabotage. So the first one is identifying your limiting beliefs. Recognize negative beliefs that hold you back. Challenge these beliefs by questioning, are they really valid? Is this really true? And replace them with empowering beliefs that support your goal. Rewrite your thoughts. Know that things are possible for you. So instead of saying it's going to be so hard to start this online makeup business or something like that, or it's going to be so hard because my sister's friend failed and it's just really hard to be successful. Instead of thinking that, ask yourself, is this really true? And is this my reality? And do I believe that it's going to be so hard? No. And write affirmations like, I know that this is my passion. I know that I'm going to reach hundreds of people. I know that I'm going to inspire others to learn how to do makeup or whatever it is that your online course is doing. Rewire your brain and your thoughts. The next strategy for overcoming self-sabotage is setting realistic goals. Break down big goals into smaller achievable steps and make your goals specific and measurable. Also visualize your success and create a plan to get there. One reason why I think it's good to break down your big goals into smaller goals is because for our mind, it has to be logical. Our conscious mind is just so powerful, and our subconscious mind is even more powerful. But for us to feel like we can achieve something, we have to break it down into smaller steps. Let's say your goal is to become a millionaire. This, for you, might seem so unrealistic right now. Okay, break it down into smaller steps. Start with, in the next 3 months, I will make 50K. If that still sounds too unrealistic for you, start with saying in the next 3 months, I'm going to make 10K cash. Sounds realistic? Perfect. Start with this little goal and know that this is possible for you. Start with little goals and know that they're possible for you, because your mind needs logical goals. But also, I have to say this, don't limit yourself. Dream big. Know that one day you're going to be a millionaire. If you are like shaking your head and think like, I'm never going to be a millionaire, well, that's you creating your reality. That's you limiting yourself. Dream big. Dream so big other people think you're crazy, honestly. Because you set your boundaries, not boundaries, you set your possibilities, your opportunities. You set the bar for your growth. And if you say, I will never, ever make that much money, then you're going in the other way. Then you won't ever make that much money. You'd be surprised by how easy life will feel once you do things that you're passionate about. The next strategy, that's such a hard word, that I want to share with you is practicing self-compassion. Be kind to yourself, especially in moments of failure and setback. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer to a friend. And focus on progress and not on perfection. Progress is so much more important than perfection. Another strategy, and this is like, they're all really important, but developing a growth mindset. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth and learning. I always say, we can't fail, we can only learn. If we try something and fail, at least we know how not to do it and we can do it better next time. And last but not least, my number one, I said all of them are important, so it's not number one, they're all important, but it's building a support system. And that's also why I decided to offer this live session every month for the next 3 months for everyone who worked with me before. Because I want to create this support system. I want to be your support person, and I want you to share whatever it is that you want to share, like grow and dreams. Share it with each other so we can all support each other, because that's what we need. We need people we can count on. If you have friends, that's amazing. Build your support system. Surround yourself with positive influence and supportive people. There is nothing better than having people cheer you on and be like, go for it. Honestly, I am sometimes, I could cry because I'm so grateful for the friends that I have. I'm doing a bit of different things this year, and I shared my thoughts and what I want to do, and I got so much amazing feedback from my friends, and they all said like, go for it, give it a go. If you don't try, you'll never know. And I'm just so grateful for that. And that's what I want to create in my community as well. Like, I want you to know, and I want to support you on your journey, and I'm your biggest cheerleader. So if you click on the link below and do the Aligned Life Mastery course, you will automatically get an invite to the live calls as well, that happening in February, March, and April, and I can't wait to connect with you. Let's wrap up this episode. I hope you've gained valuable insights into the concept of self-sabotage and how it impacts our lives. Remember that self-sabotage is not a sign of weakness. It's a natural part of our human experience and of our brain. Sometimes it likes to keep us safe. Not saying that not self-sabotaging is risky. It is not. It's just that our brain wants to keep us safe. By understanding how your brain works and your behaviors, you can change your self-sabotaging patterns. You can change the way how you do things. I would love to hear what you think about this episode. Feel free to DM me on Instagram. And if you haven't done this yet, I'd so appreciate if you could give this episode or this podcast a rating on Spotify or iTunes. It would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye!